Welcome to tonight's game, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, February 5th, 2026, from the Terwilliger B Arena in Edmonton, Alberta. Your SE701 Icemen back in the province of Alberta after a trip out to Ontario, going 2-1 in tournament play, but unfortunately not making the semifinals. Pretty much had to run the gauntlet with 3-0 record to get into the semifinals in the tournament. As 12 teams in that division, no quarterfinal play. And fourth game for your Icemen to allow them to get into the semis and move on. Your Icemen taking on the Northwest Zone 701 tonight. And Northwest 701 coming into this game with a record of 1-8-2 for a total of 4 points. One win on the season through 11 games, so your Icemen are looking to capitalize on a weaker team sitting just above the Beaumont 701 team. Your Icemen come into this game sitting in league play with 6 wins, 4 losses through 10 games. Goal differential for your Icemen +9, whereas the goal differential for the Northwest 701 sits at -23. 30 goals for and 53 goals against. Your Icemen and the Northwest 701 both sitting at about 175 penalty minutes apiece, so pretty evenly matched there. Your Icemen with 178 penalty minutes, and 701 Northwest sitting at 176. So Kane Jordan will get the start, number 1 for your SE701 Icemen. Just looking to see who the starting goaltender will be for Northwest 701. Looks like it's going to be number 31, Kingston Burns. As there's only one goaltender in the lineup tonight, so it will be Kingston by default. So Burns will get the start for 701 against Jordan for your Icemen. Your Icemen will be going from right to left in this first period, wearing the black with baby blue and white trim. They're custom third jerseys. Whereas the Northwest 701, black and white. LA Kings type style jerseys will be going left to right. And your Icemen back to full 20-minute periods after playing modified tournament play, 10, 10, and 15 for 35 minutes of stop time. We run it back to 60 minutes of stop time and floods. Make sure to join us again Sunday night, February 8th, 5:15 p.m. early start, as your Icemen will take on the Southwest Zone 701 from Millwood's B Arena. Different line combinations starting here as Gwinnett, Sawyers, and Smith are up. Ferris has put the starting lineup in a blender here. Gwinnett takes the draw. He'll win it to Ferris. Ferris kicks it over to Omulus. Moves it back to Ferris, right up the middle to Sawyers. That's chipped in over the line. Smith will rim it around the board. Sawyers will give chase over to the right side. Chipped up into the neutral zone. Ferris back to get it. He'll bank that off the boards. Perfectly played down on the tender, who will cover it up for the first whistle of our game. So Burns has that one slide in on him gingerly. He covers it with a glove, and the faceoff will be to the right of Burns. Vanderham in to take the draw. Binder and Giamaroli out here. So two totally different line combinations to start this game. Foot keeps it in at the line momentarily. It's lobbed up and over. Down into the other zone. Nothing materializes from that, and subsequently a centering pass. Good chance by Northwest Zone, unable to capitalize that right through the paint in front of Jourdain, but cleared out of the way. Northwest Zone comes out with it. Clear the puck up and in. Dollawall will send that in on Jourdain. He steers out of side of the opposite corner. Giamaroli hits his man hard along the half wall. Carrero to Foot, back to Carrero. That rims around to the right side, kept in at the line. Foot will clear that centering puck into the corner for Carrero. Giamaroli gathers the puck up. He's hounded. Fought off and kept in the zone. Northwest 701 trying to get a line change at the end. Nothing to show for that shift, but Vanderham drives in around the defense. Off the crossbar. Up over the net. Thought it might have gone into the netting, but play continues. Binder, the end of his shift, tries to bring it up. Gets it down to Carrier. He gives it to Porosny. Quick shot on net is steered aside by Burns. Worked into the left corner. Icemen looking to capitalize here on some zone time. That puck is cleared out to center ice, but no further as Carrier banks that back into the right corner. Puck up to the line, but not out. Northwest Zone clears it out in the neutral zone again. Defense for the Northwest Zone getting a line change in as Baines moves it up. Chips it up to Porosny. Porosny to Weeks. Weeks drives. Centering pass to Porosny. Porosny unable to gather that. Weeks puts it right in front again. Porosny gathers it up over the shoulder of a sprawled out Burns, and it's 1-0 for your Icemen. It's going to be Porosny from Weeks and Baines. Time of the goal, 2:36 of the first period, and your Icemen are on the board. Worked up and into the Iceman zone. Ferris gives chase. He's hounded on the way. He'll bank that around the boards to Sawyers. Sawyers down, chips it to Gwinnett. Gwinnett hit but gets the puck out. Homulus on his horse right up through the neutral zone. Protects, gives it to Smith. Smith gets it, goal side, tries to center it to Ferris. Homulus and Ferris both up on the play. That's kept in by Ferris right at the line. Smith gets that puck loose. He'll rim it around to the opposite corner. Gwinnett will pinch down to the half wall, chip it down low for Smith. Smith corrals that below the goal line, centers it with one hand, tries to get it to Gwinnett. That's rimmed around to the left side, but not out. Kept in by Carrero, who lobs that back in to Sawyers. Sawyers muscled off the puck. The puck's still in here as Northwest Zone trying to relieve the pressure. Sierra able to get a line change in here as Binder is out, fresh legs. Back to Carrier. Carrier through traffic. Shot careens to the back wall. Binder tries to center that backhand to Giamaroli. Picked up by Binder. Binder turns, fires, stopped by Burns. Great stop. Giamaroli again fires, just misses wide on the short side. The Iceman now hemming Northwest Zone in the as a penalty upcoming. And it's going to be an interference penalty to Giamaroli as he ran a little pick to allow Binder to get around the top of the circle. Unfortunately, that will draw the infraction, and your Iceman will be on the penalty kill. First power play opportunity for both teams here as Northwest 701 goes on the power play. Carrier gathers the puck up. He'll fire it around the boards, but not out. Weeks forces a turnover momentarily. Defenseman pinches down for Northwest zone, moves it over to the half wall. Back through the seam. Backdoor pass. Dribbling puck right to the back door, and Jordan, watch that go right past the left post. Shot right in on traffic, and Carrier blocks that shot. Adds to his stats. Good block shot there. 30 seconds through this. Penalty to Giamaroli for interference. Weeks pressuring the puck carrier. Forces a turnover. Carrier up to Gwinnett. Gwinnett and Weeks driving in 2-on-1. Gwinnett to the net. Backhand. Hits the stick, and the Northwest zone is off to the races the other way, and that errant pass forces the icing, and unfortunately unforced icing for the Northwest zone, so Ferris will substitute the PK unit. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the minor to Giamaroli. Smith in to take the draw out here with Binder, Ferris, and Homulus. The puck brought out, chipped around Ferris. Homulus will come over to help out his D partner. Rims it around or puts it out into the neutral zone. Homulus does, and it's picked off and sent down the ice by Smith. Northwest zone looking to just set up in the offensive zone here with 37 seconds remaining in the penalty to Giamaroli. That's turned over, and Binder is off to the races. Smith will go for a line change. Porosny out. Binder splits the D, forehand, backhand, just off the toe of Burns. Binder to Porosny. That hits the shoulder of Burns, and we have another infraction coming. It's going to be a slashing penalty coming to Northwest zone. So we will play 19 seconds of 4-on-4, and then your SE701 Icemen will be on the power play. Weeks in to take the draw. Wins it straight over to Porosny. Another face-off win by your Iceman. Homulus to Porosny on the half wall. Porosny looks, tries to feed it through the zone for Foote, who's cutting in. That was picked off by Northwest zone, but unable to get the puck out. Porosny tries to dance through his man. Your Iceman now on the power play as Vanderham comes out. Giamaroli out of the box. Homulus fires that in, misses, but Weeks will gather that up and slow things down. Homulus to Baines to Vanderham on the half wall. Back up to Homulus right down Main Street. Good shot on net, and Burns had to fight that off with the blocker. Puck retrieval by your Iceman. Sifted on net by Baines, and Burns has it in the glove and will hold on. Vanderham providing a screen on that last shot from up high by Baines. 1:09 remaining in the power play. The 2-minute minor for slashing to 701. Porosny walks right through. That's off a stick as he tried to go upstairs over the glove of Burns. Another good opportunity. The Iceman just able to find the open ice. Getting good shots on net, but 701 able to fend them off thus far on the power play. Great pass. Baines to Weeks to Porosny, and what a great setup by Weeks as he worked that right into the high slot to Porosny, and another whistle here as it's going to be a high wave down on a high stick. Great move by your Iceman on the power play. Up high to Baines, kicked it to the half wall to Weeks, and right into the bumper to Porosny, who got that shot off in a hurry. Burns being tested here early in this first period. 36 seconds remaining in the Iceman power play as Smith, Sawyers, and Binder step on the ice with Foote and Homulus. Homulus over to Binder. That evades him, but Sawyers will come in and pick it up. Sawyers gains the line. Sawyers dances in, forced to retreat back to the blue line. Homulus tries to move that low, and it's swatted out and down the ice as Northwest zone gets in a partial line change. Foote hounded. He'll curl back, get protected by the net. We're back to 5-on-5. Homulus works it over to Smith. Good job picking that up. He'll drop it for Binder. Binder right through, drives. As Smith just drove the center lane there, trying to create havoc. It's broken up in the ice, or the Northwest 701 back on the attack. Good stick by Homulus as he broke up that zone entry one-on-one. Homulus up on the attack, forces a turnover. Foot to Smith. Smith muscles his way in, back to Binder. Binder with time, space, fires, and Burns fights that off again as the net has come off its moorings. And so we will have a stoppage of play. Some more good zone entries and rushes by your Icemen here, forcing Northwest 701 defensemen back, just pushing them right back into the slot, thus allowing teammates to get good shots off. And Burns, like I said, has had to be sharp in this first period with only one goal on the board for your Icemen. And that is a goal, Prosney, from Weeks and Baines to open up scoring about 2.5 minutes into this opening frame. Puck kept in, Vanderham stripped of the puck, but Carrell will rim that around to the near boards. Giamaroli gives it to Vanderham, tries to move it through the seam to Gwinnett. Gwinnett will pick that up out of traffic. He's momentarily pushed off the puck, but Northwest 701 trying to get out of their zone. Outlet pass, allows zone entry. One-on-one with Carrero. He breaks that up with a good active stick. Push it up the boards, but no further. 701 fires it. Good shot by the forward, just zinged over the net. Didn't miss by much. Up over the crossbar on Jourdain. Centering pass, broken up by Carrero. Or Carrier, my mistake. Good job by Giamaroli to give it to Vanderham. Vanderham forced off the puck on the zone entry, and 701 will bring it in the other way. Northwest 701 trying here to conjure up something in the first period. As Coughlin fires that in on net. Carrier blocks that. A second block by Carrier here in this game. Up to Baines. Baines tries to jitterbug his way to the net. That's smothered by Burns again for a whistle. Weeks in to take the draw. Face off one again by Weeks. Baines tries to work that through the seam. That doesn't work. Northwest 701 comes out with it. They'll chip it in. The icing's going to be waved off as it was deemed to be touched on the entry, but good job as Ferris moves it up and out to Weeks. Weeks to Prosney. Prosney drop pass to Weeks. Weeks fires it in and up off the stick and into the glove of Burns. It is. So Northwest 701 playing 4 days ago, losing to South Zone 702 by a score of 7-4. Another shot in with loose puck. Baines chopping at it. Burns sprawled out on his stomach in the crease after making this initial save. And Burns again able to keep that puck from crossing the goal line as the Icemen look to extend the lead. Homulus will get that out in the neutral zone. It's just sent right back in. Ferris tries to move that out. That's picked off. Northwest 701 tries a zone entry, but Tardif doesn't connect with that pass, and your Icemen are back the other way. Ferris in, looks, sifts it through to Prosney. Prosney tips it on the back end, just missing on the backside. Baines up at the top. Centering pass to Prosney, another glorious opportunity. Great pass through the seam. Another shot by Foot, tipped by Weeks just over the head of Burns. The pressure coming relentlessly now for your Icemen. Worked, shot on net, rebound, scramble for the puck. Baines sends that over the net. Centering pass by Weeks gets picked off and sent down the length of the ice. And this may be an icing and a line change for a tired Northwest 701 line. 1-0 lead for your Icemen here in this first period. 8:23 remaining as Gwinnett in to take the draw to the right of Burns. Puck held in at the line by Carrero. Forced turnover. Pass right in the slot. Foot gets a glorious opportunity away. That's broken up again. Picked up. Puck retrieval by Gwinnett to Sawyers. Flick back towards the net. Looking for Smith, and Sawyers. Hard hit. Finishing his check on his man in the corner. Foot's going to take his man to the outside. That's steered aside by Jordan. That shot to the point down low. Looks to go up high. Northwest 701. Trying to get a shot through traffic. And there it is. Rebound, and Northwest 701 able to get the rebound in close and elevate it up over the glove of Jordan. And the game is knotted at 1. So Burns really holding in Northwest 701 right now as the pressure was relentless for shifts on end, but in short order, the Northwest zone able to capitalize on a rebound in close. Pass right into the slot. Good job by Giamaroli to hit Vanderham. That was broken up. Kept in as Binder. To Vanderham. Fired. Just missing low on the far side. Iceman will have to look to elevate the puck to get it in the net over Burns, who's held the fort. The bottom of the net, like so many of these goaltenders nowadays. Covering the net so well on the butterfly. Good job by Homulus to break in. Tries to go short side upstairs. Burns fights that off. Binder almost stripped of the puck at the blue line. Giamaroli tries to shovel another one in behind the defense. He'll go off for a line change as Perozzi comes out in pursuit. That one almost picked up for an advantageous lob through the neutral zone as Northwest zone trying to spring a guy on the line change by the Icemen. 2-on-2 developing here as Ferris and Carrier fight that off. Lob puck in the air. Fought off by Jordan as he got that with a glove. Binder tries to get zone entry. Turnover at the blue line. At the end of a shift here, the Icemen will have to look to get this puck deep and get off. Vanderham, bank pass. Chipped by the stick of Perozzi inside the blue line of the Northwest zone, but no further. Shot out and off of a skate in the neutral zone as the Icemen able to get a line change in here. Carrero to Ferris, back to Carrero. Carrero looking at his options. Up to Baines. Baines chips it ahead to Weeks, just out of his reach. Turnover. 2-on-1. Weeks gets it. Looks. Back door for Perozzi. Spins again as Baines. Puck loose right in the slot. Kept in by Ferris. Again, a bouncing puck, and Iceman just trying to capitalize on all these opportunities against Burns as he is standing on his head thus far in this first period. Centering pass again, and Burns fights it off. A shot from Ferris right in the slot. Perozzi lobs that into the slot, and Baines is going to get a cross-checking penalty, I believe, as he retaliated on the Northwest 701 defenseman. It is indeed Jorah Baines going off for cross-checking. Will put the Northwest 701 back on the power play. Battle in front of the net, and soon as play went up the ice, the official looking right at what was going on in front of the net and made that call. Forced turnover by Sawyers, like a dog on a bone, and he'll send that down the ice. Good job by Sawyers to force that turnover. He's out here with Gwinnett, Foot, and Carrier. Forced turnover by Foot allows Gwinnett to pick it up to Carrier. That's off a skate and right back into the Iceman zone. Another shot goes off of Carrier up to the top of the zone, and it now gets out. Sawyers fires it through the legs of the defenseman, kept in by Carrier. Carrier looks, He'll hold it in shorthanded. 2 Icemen now below the goal line here on the penalty kill. Carrier smartly just shovels it on the backhand below the goal line, forcing Northwest 701 to come back 200 feet. Lobbed in on Jordan. That one is held for a whistle as Northwest 701 player. Little poke on Jordan. Good penalty kill thus far by your Icemen as 701 unable to set up with 1 minute gone in the penalty kill. Up to the blue line but not out. Homulus changes that as he will bounce the rolling puck down into the Northwest 701 zone. Ferris tries to pick off that zone entry, and Smith and Ferris finish the check on Dollawall. Worked up to the line, but not out. Dollawall leaves it back for the defense. Smith gathers that up. He'll send it down the length of the ice and get a line change. 24 seconds remain in the penalty to Baines for cross-checking. Binder, Ferris, Homulus, and Weeks now out here at the end of this penalty kill as the puck is into the zone on the zone entry and right back out as Weeks intercepted that. Weeks protects the puck up to Homulus. Homulus tries to hit Perosny. We're back to 5-on-5. Baines steps out of the sin bin. Homulus fires that through. That hits a stick, and Northwest 701 sends it down the length of the ice, but Baines will back in pursuit. Will pick it up. Baines through center. Looks, fires from well outside, looking to go short side, missing. Carrier will send that to the back wall off the glass. Perosny picks it up. Perosny centers it. Loose puck right in the slot. Weeks 2 whacks at it, and it's in the back of the net. Your Icemen finally get one past Burns again, as he has been standing on his head here in this first 20 minutes. So I believe the goal is going to be Weeks from Perosny and Baines. As your Icemen strike to get the lead again here. Is shot right in on net as 2:30 remain in this first period. 3-on-3 developing here. Puck to the back door. Steered aside. Good job by Jordan to get his stick and in there and negate that backdoor pass. Baines, toe drag, forehand, backhand. Tries to tuck it in on the forehand, short side under the glove of Burns, but just misses. Vanderham shovels it into the left corner. Baines stripped of the puck, and Northwest Zone will come back the other way. Thought that was offside as Northwest 701 player lifted the wrong foot at the blue line, but it was waved onside. Nothing develops off that zone entry. Northwest 701 still keeps it in the zone. Carrier up to Perosny. Perosny at the end of his shift looks to get around. He's taken down. Lucky that wasn't a blindside hit as Northwest 701 player was coming from the offside. Giamaroli lines up his man in the corner, forces the D-man to send it around to the other side for his D partner. Up the middle, that's almost picked off by Binder. Northwest 701 zone defenseman will send it in, but no further. Giamaroli with a great chip right to Vanderham in stride. Vanderham wide. Hooked on the play, can't get the shot away. No penalty on the play in Northwest zone. Back the other way. 1 minute remaining in this opening frame as Foote keeps his man to the outside. Ferris helps his man out. Vanderham tries to center that to Giamaroli, and Northwest zone try to keep it in, trying to tie this game with 42 seconds left. Through traffic, it's tipped on the way. Right into the slot again, and Ferris will clear that into the ditch. Shot from the point, blocked by Giamaroli. Down the ice as Burns is out to stop the puck for his defenseman. Quick up to the far side. That's tipped in to the Icemen zone. Icemen looking to clean up things here with 10 seconds remaining and not give Northwest Zone any opportunity to strike before the end of this first period. Kept in, shot from the point, tipped by Sawyers. Great shot by Heimulus. Tipped by Sawyers. If that goes in, that would have just beat the buzzer. But after 20 minutes of play, it's your SE701 Icemen 2 and the Northwest